Okay, this last video here will probably, again, just kind of a three-part series on just some practice problems on how to use word problems with all the techniques we've used so far throughout the semester. And we're here in the last tail end of the third video here trying to do number 2 and number 3. And this one's asking you to use a quadratic formula, which again, I hesitate to use because I don't want to do it anymore. And then really my hesitation comes from the fact that it always works, but it takes a really long time. So if I were to move minus 5 plus 5x minus 5 plus 5x, oops, let's do it so we can see it. And I'm doing two steps at once here. So minus 5 plus 5x. Notice minus 5 plus 5x here. You're going to end up with the formula. Oh, I don't know what happened there. Let's go ahead and slide back down. Sorry about that. You will end up with some kind of a formula that has function 6x squared plus 4x minus 2 equals 0. Now be careful, I've taken this 5x and those 5x, but I lined it up over here. And then I took this 5 and put a minus 5, but I lined it there. So my numbers and my sign should come out accordingly. It should have a positive 4x and a minus 2. Now, again, you can do the quadratic formula at this point if you want, which means this is like ax squared plus bx plus a c. And I'll tell you, for the purposes of not making a long video, I'll get you started. Again, here's your formula. X is equal to opposite of b plus or minus, you probably have this memorized, all over 2a. So if I'm doing that, opposite of b is going to be minus 4 plus or minus the square root of 4 squared minus 4 times 6 times negative 2 all over 2 times 6. So that's how you're going to do it using the quadratic formula, and you should get the same answer that we do using your calculator. Might as well just keep going. Minus 4 plus or minus 16. Now notice a negative and a negative is a positive. And all I'm doing is 4 times 2 is 8 times 6, that's 48. All over 12. And if I continue on, so I'm just being quiet here, just thinking to myself. I hope you all can follow along. And again, you have two answers. So if I say negative, now watch this in my head. Negative 4 plus 8 is 4 all over 12. So you can say 4 twelfths or 1/3. And if I do negative 4 minus 8, you have negative 12 over 12 or negative 1. So those should be your two answers if you were to use the calculator. Now, let's go ahead and see what's on the calculator. Remember our function here, to use a quadratic formula in the first place, you have to use that. So 6x squared plus 4x minus 2, and I kind of got it started, right? And then you can say down here, let's go ahead and see that what that thing looks like on a graph. Not too shabby, and that's just using my window from before. But remember now, oops, sorry, you can't see that. I apologize. So that's what I got when I graphed that same function. All I did is said y equals. But now to graph that thing, and notice it looks like this, because you want to know when that thing equals 0, your other y line has to be 0 right there. So if you're going to do this graphing, you need that to be there so that you have some couple intersections here. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if our answers are right. Second, calculate intersection. Oh, I don't care about first curve or second curve. I just want to make sure that's the intersection I'm looking at. So first curve, enter. There's my first answer, and I think it was negative 1. And notice how I'm not even walking you through. You should be able to follow along. Second, calculate. And if I've gone too fast, just go back. Intersection. Again, scooting over to the point that you're most interested in. Inner, inner, inner. And that intersection is 0.333, which is 1/3. Now let's see if that does that match up. I think so. 1/3 is 0.333, and my other one was -1. So again, you should be able to use, and I've just been practicing, and please do the practice. I know it takes a long time, but you'll get better and better and better at doing this, and you only have to use one way in the future, so life will be much easier. Okay? Okay, one more, and we'll be done with this portion of the videos. Let's see. So they want us to use our graphing calculator. Let's move stuff over right now. So x squared plus 5x minus 300. Notice I just did the plus 5x minus 300. I just moved this whole thing this way and changed the signs. Now that it's equal to 0, oh, actually, you know what? Let's not do it that way this time. Let's revert all of that. And I'm sorry, I'm hitting the wrong button. We could, you see what I just did? Now, there's nothing wrong with doing what I just did as far as doing it the same way as before and say, hey, let's take the whole thing and set that thing equal to 0. There's nothing wrong with doing that. You might as well, you're more than welcome to do it. And I'll tell you what, on your own time, go ahead and do that. Graph this side and 0 and get some points of intersection. Just because the whole video is here of how to do things differently, let's graph this time. Let's do one side in blue here. Let's do x squared. And then in red, we'll do 300 minus 5x. Just to show that there's multiple ways of doing the same thing. So here we go. Clear out what you had before. And remember, the left side is going to be x squared. Then I think it was minus 5x. I'll have to check here. Plus 300. Give me a second, and I apologize for having to go back and double check. But minus 5x plus 300, or 300 minus 5x, it's the same thing. 300 minus 5x. Let's see if I can share my screen with you. 300 minus 5x. Now, really, it doesn't matter, okay? But just for those of you that don't want to deviate, you're more than welcome to put 300 minus 5x. I just have a tendency to always put the x's first. So 300 minus 5x on one side. One last final check. So that is on this side here, and in blue, x squared on the other side. All right, remember, you can do it this way, or the way we're doing it. Over here, we have x squared equals 300 minus 5x. And as I bonk over to the calculator, what do you think is going to happen? Let's hit enter. Boom. There's one. Uh-oh, I don't see the other one. So let's go ahead and zoom out. And I still don't see anything. Now remember, there's a clue here in the sense that 300 is a y-intercept. This function's linear the way I've written it. So for my window, for me to even see anything, my y value is going to have to go up to, shoot, let's make it 600. So my y values are going to be very large this time. Let's count by 50s. Again, I don't know if this is right. I haven't done the problem yet. Let's graph that. Oh, there they are. And again, that problem, we figured it out by noticing the y-intercept here, because you have a quadratic function and a linear one. Remember, y equals, and this is the mx plus b part. But in this case, b is 300, so there's my graph. Now, if you wanted to do it this way, second, calc, go through intersection. And I like to kind of let you see the process of investigating and figuring out and how to conquer, the challenges. Like I wasn't seeing anything in my graph, but now I got my intersection there. First curve, second curve, enter. So my intersection is going to be at -20. And the Last one there, second, calculate. Notice how I'm starting to move faster now. And remember, if you want the other one, you have to move your cursor over there. I'm just holding down on my right arrow here and hit enter, enter, enter. And my intersection is 15. So your answers for this problem should be, oh, what did we say? Negative 20 and 15. So we'll go ahead and finish that in there. Oh, negative 20 or negative 15. So hopefully that helps. And for those at home, if you did the quadratic formula on that, you should get the same answers. The graphs will look different, but they will return the same correct results. So just a little bit of practice there for the last 3 videos here. Good job and good luck going forward.